BTS News Today. In a world filled with camera glare, hectic schedules, and relentless pressure, something stands still: a sincere and unwavering friendship. And within the BTS universe, the relationship between Jungkook and Park Jimin has become one of the emotional foundations that underpin many armies around the world. Recently, in a long-awaited interview, Jungkook finally revealed the deepest reason why he could never be away from Jimin. And this confession, without a doubt, shook the hearts of fans who all this time saw their togetherness as something sweet and yet mysterious. The interview was simple. No grandiose sets, no exaggerated highlights. Just a warm room with dim yellow lights and Jungkook's quiet but meaningful voice. When asked about the relationship between BTS members, Jungkook's face changed, his smile remained, but his gaze became deeper. He sighed softly before saying, "All this time, many people have said I'm too close to Jimin. But what they don't know is, I never wanted to be away from him. And it wasn't just because we were members of the same group, but because Jimin was the only person who could always understand me completely." The words instantly spread like wildfire in the middle of a dry forest. ARMY, who watched the interview live on the official platform, immediately flooded social media with the hashtags #JungkookForever and #JungkookJimin. Many were surprised, moved, and not a few who cried when they heard the honesty of the golden meme. Jungkook didn't stop there. He continued by telling about the beginning of his closeness with Jimin. According to Jungkook, from the first day they met as trainees, he felt an inexplicable connection. Jimin, who was older than and came from Busan just like himself, was always the place to ask, shelter, and even cry. Jungkook recalls nights when he doubted his abilities, and Jimin was always the first to hug him and say, "You did your best." That simple speech, according to Jungkook, has been one of the sources of his strength until now. "Jimin is home to me," Jungkook said as he looked at the camera. "He always knows when I'm not okay, even when I try to hide it. He's the only person who can make me laugh in the middle of the most exhausting day." Fans know that their relationship is more than just colleagues. Many of the behind-the-scenes moments show how much Jungkook cares about Jimin and vice versa. Whether it's through a sudden hug, a small whisper in the ear, or just a meaningful look at each other. But only this time, Jungkook voiced everything clearly and censored, without hesitation. He then shared the difficult moments he faced during his debut. When the world didn't know who BTS was, and the pressure of the industry was so heavy, there was only one person who was always present when he felt down: Jimin. Jungkook even mentioned that if it wasn't for Jimin, he might have given up on his first year as an idol. "I'm just a scared teenager, and Jimin is the one who makes me feel safe," she said in a trembling voice. Not only about comfort, Jungkook also touched on the other side of their relationship, namely high mutual respect. He said he always admired Jimin's determination and hard work. Even in the toughest training, Jimin never complained. He always encouraged others. He exudes a spirit that never goes out, and it's contagious. "He makes me want to be better," Jungkook said admiringly. In a very touching moment, Jungkook tells how Jimin was present in the most important moments of his life. When she lost a relative, Jimin was the first to hug her and cry with her. When he felt confused about the future, Jimin sat with him all night and said that he would never be left alone. "He's always there. Even when I didn't know I needed someone, he still came." The interview was even more emotional when Jungkook said that he was afraid that one day they would be completely separated by time, distance, or fate. He said, "I know life will take us many places, and there may be days when we won't always be able to be together. But I want the army to know that I will always carry Jimin in my heart wherever I go." The statement made the studio atmosphere quiet. The crew seemed to be holding back tears. A strong and sincere feeling emanated from Jungkook's every word. He didn't speak to make a sensation, but because he knew the time was right to reveal everything. Jungkook also mentioned about the military draft, a period they are currently living with a heart full of longing. He said that during his time in the camp, he often thought of Jimin. In little letters that were never published, she often wrote things about their memories together, about how they encouraged each other, about the long journey they had taken. In a place like this, you will realize who is really important in your life. And for me, one of them is Jimin. Shortly after the interview aired, Jimin also responded via social media. She posted a photo of their trainee days with a simple caption, "I also never want to be away from you, Cook." That short sentence made millions of soldiers flood the comments with Haru's words. The relationship of these two friends is an inspiration to many, that true closeness does not always have to be described in words, but felt through sincere actions and feelings. Not only the ordinary army, even Korean celebrities also responded. Several idols from other groups wrote that they were inspired by Jungkook and Jimin's friendship. They regard the closeness as proof that in the midst of a competitive industry, there are still relationships built on love, understanding, and trust. Returning to the interview, Jungkook closed the session with a single sentence that will never be forgotten by anyone who watches it. He said, "I may lose a lot of things in this world, but I don't want to lose Jimin. Because he's not just a friend, he's a part of me." And so, in a deep and unadorned confession, Jungkook opened the window of his heart to the world. He shows that behind his fame and physical strength, there is a young man who really appreciates the meaning of someone's presence in his life. Jungkook has proven that true strength comes not only from a strong body or a beautiful voice, but also from a heart that dares to love and tell the truth. For ARMY, this is not only a heartwarming moment, but also a reminder that BTS is not just a music group, they are a family, and Jungkook is one of the strongest bonds that keep them intact. Although they will continue to grow, pursue each other's dreams, and go through phases of life, one thing is certain: Jungkook and Jimin will never truly be far apart. Because as Jungkook said, our closeness is not because of fate, but because we choose to take care of each other. And now that it's all been revealed, the world knows. The reason Jungkook is never far from Jimin is not because of duty, but because of love that is so deep and real. After Jungkook's emotional confession spread, the media in South Korea and internationally began to seriously discuss the meaning of Jungkook and Jimin's closeness, which has been seen as a group dynamic. However, the recognition opened the eyes of many that their relationship was already far beyond the limits of the stage. Not a few opinion articles have emerged from psychologists, observers of relationships between celebrities, and even longtime BTS fans who judge that the closeness of the two is an example of very healthy bonding in a stressful world like the entertainment industry. Armies from around the world began resharing old clips showing loving and caring moments between Jungkook and Jimin. Like when Jungkook protected Jimin from the crowd of fans at the airport, or when Jimin couldn't hide his tears because Jungkook's solo performance was so touching. Each video seems to be a puzzle piece that now merges with Jungkook's statement. Their relationship is now no longer just cute or shipping in the eyes of fans. It has become a symbol of loyalty, affection, and authentic human relationships. One of the moments that came back viral was when they both did V Live a few years ago. In the broadcast, Jimin jokingly said, "If it wasn't for Jungkook, I might have left the group." Jungkook, who heard it, looked shocked, then laughed quietly and embraced Jimin lovingly. At that time, the moment was considered an ordinary joke. But after Jungkook's confession, many in the army looked back at the video with a different perspective, that there might be a big truth behind the joke.